Remember that every shape we take in this cycle is merely to learn, and every shape is temporary. We should not get attached to the role of perpetrator with all its power, to the victim who has no responsibility, or to the saviour who is greater than either perpetrator or victim. For any attachment to any of these roles will stop us from moving forward into the next deeper cycle. We will start with the role of victim, because this is the easiest role for most people to identify with. So move with your attention to your third chakra, to your stomach chakra. And what is characteristic for a victim is that in the stomach chakra there is a fear which stops it from flowing. You stop taking control over the world around you, but allow the world around you to influence you. There is a kind of surrender to the world. You recognize that as a victim, the power of the world or of the other is greater than your own. And it is that the world will determine your fate and not you. So go to the stomach chakra and allow it to freeze, to come to rest, to get blocked. As the stomach chakra becomes more silent, you will also feel more the fear of the victim. Fear which is both the cause and the result of this state. You can also feel that the water meridians which run from the head over the back, parallel to the spine and over the kidneys, become blocked in this area. And also your liver also becomes blocked. Your energy can no longer flow outward, but has to be contained within the body. Start allowing this to happen. Start to allow your inner victim to come forward. As your chakra moves slower and slower, as does your chi in your water and kidney meridians. It is possible that you feel an uncertainty or even a feeling of panic. This is fine. It's all part of being a victim. It's not something to be avoided either. Every role has its experiences. And by becoming paralyzed, you can see more purely, more truly, than when you are active. The victim is the ultimate observer, the observer of the circumstances of the others, and also of herself. Start moving past this experience of fear. Because the fear exists on an emotional level, but on a deeper spirit level, there is no fear. There is curiosity. you give total freedom to the world around you, to the other, what are they like? What is their true nature, which can finally express itself if there is nobody and nothing to stop it? The victim is looking for the truth, for the essence, of the world, of the other, of herself. Feel how the spirit liberates itself from all its obligations, from all its judgments, from all its morality even. Because all the victim can do is accept. At the moment that you fight, you struggle or resist, then you become a perpetrator yourself, responding to violence with violence, to words with words. But the victim is in a passive state, absorbing everything. The power of the victim is that the victim can encompass the whole situation, not just part of it, as the perpetrator or the saviour. Resist the urge to escape from this state. The victim state is not something to be afraid of, or to be ashamed of. It is simply a state of learning through observation rather than through action. Now allow this passivity, which is in the stomach area, to sink further down towards the pelvis. Because in the first stages of victimhood, there is still a friction between you and the outside world. But as you go deeper into surrender, also this friction will cease. Because your own desires, your own will disappear and be replaced by the will of the perpetrator. The power of the victim is to become one with the world around her, to become one with the perpetrator. And when you are both the actor and the object, there is a deeper understanding. You cease being the victim. So allow this quietness to sink into your belly. Feel your resistance fading out. Resistance is no more than an attachment to your desires, attachment to your habits of being, what is happening, what your world is like. As a victim, you allow yourself to be taken into a different state, into a different world, the world of the perpetrator. Also, as a victim, if you cannot appreciate what is happening to you, then often this experience will have to be repeated again and again, until you fully comprehend it. If you go more deeply into this state, then often you only have to experience something once or twice before karmatically you can let go of this part of the cycle and move on to a different position. Try to identify which of your habits, which of your moral judgments are stopping you from surrender. Maybe you don't want to be weak. Maybe you have too much pride, too much anger. Let all of this go. The sole reason for your existence as a victim is so that the perpetrator can manifest himself. You are the canvas which the perpetrator paints upon. He is the creator. You are the object. And you receive all that is in the perpetrator and give it shape, give it form. Without you, the perpetrator is formless. You allow the perpetrator to come into existence, to manifestation, by the very act of existing and connecting. Just exist and connect. Open up to all that there is in the world. For in true surrender, you are close to enlightenment. Allow all the energy in your body, any power of you to act, and also those actions which you do take be orchestrated by your perpetrator. Be the servant, be the slave to the perpetrator, so he can manifest his karma by your compliance, by your catalyzation of his half-formed intentions and desires. Give over control over your own power to the world around you and become a true servant. Selfless. From this very passive state, you'll now move to the opposite state, the state of the perpetrator. Again, go with your intention to your stomach. And now start unfolding your third chakra, so that the energy can start moving again and flow outward. also start activating the liver and gallbladder. So also that energy can manifest itself outward. As a perpetrator, you are an artist. You're a creator. You shape events. You shape the world. You create a mirror image of what is living inside you in the outside world. Some of you feel some resistance. This can be due to modesty or uncertainty. Who are you to take control over events? Do you really want to see what will happen if you release yourself? If you unbind yourself and allow your energy to flow outward? All these doubts are diseases. They're diseases of your mind, of your memory, and of your energy. We exist not merely to experience, but also to manifest. So that what is within will be manifested without, and by manifesting it, we can see ourselves. We can see how great we are, but we can also see how flawed we are. If we only keep it inside, if we only think and dream, then we do not deserve bodies. These bodies are not meant only to sleep or to dream. The physical form is created for us to manifest, to influence the world around us, to use our will as an instrument of creation, of domination. So let's start removing all these diseases, all these blockages, all these ideas that you're not good enough, you're not worthy, you're not important. Because they keep the wheel from moving. They keep you from showing yourself to the world, from being seen and from seeing yourself as you truly are. So be without shame. Throw off the mantle of false modesty. You were given your body. You were given a chance. Do not be disrespectful and waste it. Toss away your incarnation. Toss away your power. Toss away your life. Take it. Allow the energy to flow in and concentrate itself in your third chakra. And feel it. Feel how the power concentrates there. Also feel what is keeping it from really moving, from really flowing. All these experiences of not being loved, not being accepted, not being wanted. A true perpetrator doesn't allow himself or herself to be stopped. The urge to create has to be stronger than all the obstacles of the world. If you're afraid to expend your energy, if you're afraid to work, if you're afraid that the result might not be what you want, or what you think it will be, you will never manifest yourself. You were born here with the ability to do so. Have that faith. Trust in your karma. Trust in your power. And trust in the world that it is a willing victim for you to show yourself, to show your potential, to share your power, to share your medicine. And it is a dangerous path, because you will be judged. Depending on how well you do, your karma will improve or decrease. But this is not something to be feared. Because by manifesting yourself, you can be brought to the place which is most suited for you. You can take the form and the incarnation which is most suited for you. So manifesting yourself, being a perpetrator, is a way to harmonize yourself, to find your place in the cosmos, or to deserve your place in the cosmos, I should say. And to know that every action you take is seen by yourself, but also by the entire world. And as you act, your energy begins to transform. If you act well, you will be given more opportunities. If you act poorly, the damage you can do will be restricted by decreasing your opportunities, your talents, either in this lifetime or in the next. So ultimately, whatever you do, it is for the best. If you act well, you will be given the opportunity to act well more strongly. If you act poorly, the damage you can do will be decreased by your having done so. Allow yourself to be guided. Allow the energy to flow up, all the way from your toes, through your legs, and come into your belly, and flow out, and spill over the world. Push away all obstacles, all the outside energies. Make the world yours. Make this space yours. Make this body yours. And feel the joy of your spirit as it is no longer trapped in the physical form, but the physical form becomes its instrument. Becomes the brush with which it can paint on the canvas of life. Free your spirit from the limitations and allow it to identify with your power, with your talent. Accept both divine mercy and divine judgment for who you are and what you do. This judgment can only be postponed by doing nothing. It can never be avoided. So stop wasting your time, stop wasting your life, and follow your will. also feel that after an initial phase of resistance of the world and of the other people around you, they will gladly surrender to you, for they also want to see you. They also want to be guided. They want you to share your being with them. For through sharing, they too can learn, they too can grow. But your energy has to be strong, stable and harmonious to help them surrender to it. If your energy is polluted, imbalanced, then they will resist to keep themselves pure, to keep themselves from being infected. This is why a perpetrator must always be pure and act not out of fear or attachment, but out of the will of the Spirit. For this is true creation. Other things you do out of fear, to be loved, to be liked, because other people ask it of you. This is not creation. This is not being a perpetrator. This is surrender to your environment. This is being a victim, in a way, in a half-hearted way. But if you want to make progress, you have to go to the ultimate, to the pure states of perpetrator and the pure state of victim. Not this greyish middle ground where we spend our daily lives. Hi, how are you doing? Fine, and you? This is being like a sleeping automaton. Your spirit is not involved. Your will is not involved. Now let the will rise up and start to dominate also the heart, the throat, and even the head. So that you become more free. And acting not only on a physical level, but also on an emotional level. On a level free from your past, free from your conditioning, and even truly inspired. So feel also the blockages which exist in these three levels. In the heart there's the fear of rejection, fear of being hurt, which keeps people from manifesting. Allow your fear to melt away in the face of your willpower, in the face of your drive. And there is what you are taught is the correct way, the proper way, the expected way. How you should act as a woman, as a man, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend. These are all chains holding back your power, holding back your energy, trying to turn you into a slave. Break these chains, release your neck and shoulders, throw off the world which is trying to drag you down, which tries to make you obey its laws. Know that these laws exist. You can respect them if you will. You can follow them if you will. That should be your will, not habit, not desire, not acceptance. So all the memories are there, all the times you're punished, all the mistakes you made, all the times people tell you you've done something bad. Don't care about these things. They are nothing to your willpower. They're like a straitjacket, keeping you from moving. Break free of them. Burn up these shackles. And dare to be your own master, instead of allowing your past to control you. For if you allow your past to have power over you, then the only thing you can do is to repeat your past. This is not progress. This is running around in little circles, never escaping. And now your will can rise to your head and connect with the divine inspiration, with the very fabric of thought, of the collective consciousness of our planet. Now you can co-create, because your will starts to become one with the will of humanity, with the will of nature, with the will of the higher being. And your will can now be used to fulfill your destiny, to do what you're meant to do on this planet. To serve your spirit, your spiritual progression, as well as the spiritual progression of the human race and the planetary consciousness. And even if you act out of this, you can be hated, reviled, stoned to death, burnt at the stake. But it doesn't matter, because what you have done can never be undone. And your will, having become one with the will of the cosmos, will continue on, even after the decay of your body and its death. If you act out of this will, you can reincarnate and continue your mission and purpose, life after life after life, building upon previous events, previous actions, until finally the entirety of your will has become manifest. And then you will no longer be bound to remain on this planet, or even in physical form. For this level of existence will have fulfilled its purpose on your path to the light. Now we will move into the last phase of our meditation. part of the saviour. The saviour encompasses both the perpetrator and the victim. It knows and understands both worlds and can act as an intermediary to guide both victim and perpetrator in their process. It's also the role of the mediator to lift both the victim and the perpetrator into a higher level of consciousness, deeper awareness, realization of the processes they are involved in. It's your role to guide them, to embrace their karma, to learn from it, not to shy away from it, and to act in the best way possible. Move your focus to your heart. To allow the energy to come up from your belly so that the heart chakra becomes the dominant chakra, the center of power instead of the third chakra. This rise of energy is also why the saviour is on a slightly higher level than the perpetrator and the victim. The role of the saviour is to make events meaningful, so that they can become transformative, so that the spirit of the victim and the spirit of the perpetrator can grow. To do so, the heart must be free, free of judgment. Because the person who acts and the person who is acted upon are both equally necessary, equally essential to create any situation. If either of them doesn't comply, then the situation will never manifest itself, or will manifest itself only partially, twisted or poorly. By your act of acceptance, you must teach the perpetrator and the victim both to accept their roles, to help them find what is the way forward, to allow them to see why they are manifesting a pattern. What are they looking for? So ultimately they can manifest higher and better patterns with every new cycle. This is the tricky part, because the saviour has to be focused on the heart, to embrace the whole situation and both roles, but also there must be an inner desire to share their light, their wisdom, their guidance, without turning into a perpetrator, without grabbing control over the situation, without overpowering the victim and the perpetrator. The saviour is the catalyst. So that the reaction will produce gold rather than lead. That is this very essence of gold, of harmony, spiritual development, which the Saviour should offer to both victim and perpetrator, or even to situations and places. As the Saviour is the very essence of harmony, of progress, of karmic development, embodying divine mercy, but also divine justice. So to act as a Saviour, you must understand the laws of karma. Feel the karma of the people involved. Feel their movement on the path of life. Feel their spirit. And when you do what must be done. Not what you will, what you desire, what you think is right. You give them what they need. So that this experience will be their last experience on this level, so they can move to greater and deeper depths. So their spirit can pass this station and doesn't have to return, having lived it fully, openly. Your essence as a Saviour is to fulfill the wishes. Often the perpetrator will act, will manifest themselves, but will still be left empty, discontent, because the manifestation is always on a gross physical level, while what they are looking for is something spiritual, something essential. It is the role of the Saviour to make sure that experiences are not just on a physical level, but go deeper and work upon the soul. It is the work of the Saviour to teach people to appreciate, to open up, to embrace the process. So ultimately they can leave the process. The Saviour can never be controlled by the perpetrator. Must have a Teflon energy. Nothing will stick to you. There will be no possibility to grab you or pull you into the game, which is going on between the perpetrator and the victim. You will be without judgment. Without care, without responsibility. Your energy must be free, and at the same time connected. You are not there to overpower them, but to nudge them in the right direction, using a minimal amount of words, a minimal amount of force, of energy. Subtlety is your sword. your tool. A word here, a gesture there, stimulating people to see deeper, to think deeper. Feel how from your heart tendrils start going out. Flow out of your chest, out of your shoulders. And they start pervading the space around you. Do not become boundless. Keep yourself separate, but in very intimate contact. This is the Saviour's energy body. Now that we have activated all three roles, all three parts of our being, we need to harmonize them, so our spirit can move easily from one role into another. So feel and remember the chains which exist blocking the perpetrator. Feel the desires and attachments which are blocking the victim. And feel the uncertainties and confusions which are blocking the Saviour. And feel the fire of your spirit. And the Om Satnam mantra burning away the blockages on all levels and between the levels. Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Now inwardly. Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Om Satnam.
Now 3 times quietly. Namaskar. Thank you for joining this meditation.